is going to be shut down for the year, sir.
It's unfortunate.
It is
unfortunate.
What's going on here, bro? Looks like a shutdown due to a blood clot in his shoulder. I mean, this man was just playing at All-Star weekend last weekend. Everything seemed to be all peaches and cream. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, all these different trades and things. De'Aaron Fox is here now too, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So you just got that. They got to be feeling a little good about this. Me and Will were texting back and forth a little bit earlier. And, he says a lot of people are going to try to say that this is showing that they're trying to tank and get a better pick and all that. But he and I agree that we don't really believe that, man. We think that it would be, there must really be an issue here. Because if this man was healthy, I would think that he would be on the field, young, in good shape and all that stuff. But if he was healthy, he'd be on the court, because him being on the court and getting that on-court experience and all that stuff is much more valuable than you possibly getting a better draft pick. Because you remember, the NBA is a lottery and stuff. You don't even know for sure.
Yeah.
If you lose all them games, you're going to get that pick. So you might get a better pick on a guy that might wind up panning out. For me, it's way more beneficial for you to have Victor Wembanyama on the court, getting his experience. So I think with him sitting out, shutting down for the rest of the year, obviously they're not taking any chances, but I believe something's really wrong here, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't, in the NBA, it's a little bit harder to tank, like you said, because of the lottery. And outside of like the top 10 picks, I mean, you could probably say top 5. It's not like the NFL where you can just continuously find elite players in the top 10, top 15, right? I mean, you're going to find some gems in deeper picks, but like the NBA, it's like the top 3 picks are the only ones that are kind of like,
I mean, I
you know
can't
what I mean?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're trying to say there. I understand where you're coming from. Like you do, usually you'll find a joker here down, 40 or something here and there, something like that. But most of the time we know who the top 3 pick, talk this year, everybody talk about Cooper Flag going to be number 1 next year, hands down, all that stuff. You hear a lot of hype about those guys for a year leading up to all this, but you usually find some pretty good value, but they're usually not like superstars.
Exactly.
And obviously I'm not an NBA expert, and I'll be the first to tell you all that. Y'all know I don't really like this stuff. But at the same time, you see a lot of those guys that go from like 5 to 10, like they're going to be solid players. They're going to give you like 15 points a night and stuff like that. But you don't see a lot like that Anthony Edwards that goes top 3 and winds up changing the franchise,
I think what I was trying to say is there's not very many like guaranteed superstars.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. It feels like in the NBA, there's fewer of those than probably any sport.
I mean, you only got 5 people in your lineup. NFL, you've got 22 guys on,
53 guys on the roster.
Right. So it's a little bit different.
5 times the amount of people you have on an NBA roster.
Yeah. And I'm no doctor, but I think we all know that a blood clot is nothing to mess with. Like if that thing reaches your heart, you're dead. You know what I'm saying?
Before you even know what happens, bro.
Like you're done. So I think blood clots are serious things.
Up there,
nothing you want to mess with.
Up there by your shoulder,
you're already there. Like you're already that close.
Once again, we ain't doctors, but up there by your shoulder, I feel like it doesn't have to go too far to get to somewhere it ain't supposed to be, man.
Yeah. So dude, nothing to mess with. Like you've heard of people dying over blood clots,
dude. It happens every single day.
So nothing like, just sit.
And not even necessarily old people, man. I had a buddy years ago that had a situation like this that passed away at 32 years old because of something like this. Man.
Yep, it can get you. So, and like you said, as far as like they just made the trade for Fox, you don't think they're trying to win this year?
Right. Yeah, you don't make that move to turn around and say, hey, now we're going to tank.
Plus, then you get court time with Wemby and Fox leading into the playoffs. I mean, at this point in time, on both sides, it's I'm not going to say it's easy to make the playoffs, but the 7-8 seeds usually are like 500 or sometimes below 500 in the NBA.
I mean, those guys getting the play-in games and stuff like right there. I mean, all you need is a shot.
Yeah.
You got to blame yourself then. So, I do think there's something to all this. Obviously, we're just now hearing about it. It's just kind of weird, man. Like I said, he was just joking around with the Joker at the All-Star game about him bringing his book and all that stuff. Everybody was, poking, having a little fun in the locker room. And everything seemed to be in good spirits. So, how do you even find something like this, bro?
Well, also you got to think this guy's like 7 foot.
That's another thing.
He's weird, shaped, and
we
like
always see that with these guys that are freakishly big, man. You saw it with Greg Oden. You saw it with Yao Ming. Yao Ming's a Hall of Famer and all that stuff, but you still seen him have problems. You see it with all these monster dudes like this that are abnormally large. Let's just be real. If you're 7.5 foot tall, that's abnormally large for a human being.
Dude, his like foot, the bones in his feet are like twice the size of our bones. You know what I
Literally,
mean?
dude. But they're probably thinner too.
Yeah. Like his
You know,
arms, like we've got like a little bit from the shoulder. Like his arm is like from his shoulder to his elbow is like from my shoulder to my wrist.
dude, it's crazy.
And bones are not supposed to be like it's not
It,
supposed to be like that.
I feel
Unless
like
you're Andre the
always,
Giant.
well, when you see these guys, because this is obviously still a young dude, What is he, 21? Is he even 21?
He's probably right around there.
Right around it or whatever. So you got to think of how fast that body had to grow over. I mean, he was huge at like 8 years old, but still.
Yeah.
Like you got to think.
He's been lifting some weights. He's gotten a little bigger
They
since he
trained
got in
him.
the league.
They've done it the right way with this guy. They've literally trained him since birth with all these different drills and agility things and stuff like that to strengthen his ankles and his knees and his joints, because that's where you have a lot of the problems is in the lower extremities. So they've been training him like that forever. But I still feel like you see a lot of different medical issues with these guys that are huge like this.
Yep.
And this is just another weird thing. Like, we don't know. We hope that Wemby's fine. We hope that they get this figured out. We think they're doing it the right way. They're approaching it the right way because this is the future face of your city, you know. And this guy is he's going to be good. There's no doubt about it. He's good. So you got to be cautious with him. So I don't hate that at all, man. I don't. I hate to see it because it's fun to watch the guy play. And I kind of wanted to see him make a little run, man, and see what they were going to be able to do with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, like I said, if you can just get in the playoffs. I mean, there's some teams that are like the Bostons and stuff like that kind of set themselves apart, but at least you can get in there and get some games under your belt, get some experience and see what happens. But they've had so many like high draft picks. Spurs are going to be good for a long time if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Now, it does look like, it's going to be hard. You take that guy off the court, you lose a lot. So they're going to drop some games going on the stretches. Even as good as De'Aaron Fox is, he'll only be able to do so. I tell you what we could probably start doing is betting that guy's overs like crazy.
Is Popovich back or is he done for the year too?
That guy's almost done for this lifetime, Steps.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand Pop is a great coach, has been a great coach for years, Hall of Famer, first ballot. I don't even know how they do that. They may already be in the damn Hall of Fame. But that's crazy, dude.
Is that true?
I would say so, dude. I would say so. I mean, rumor has it, but you look at these kids now with the NILs and stuff like that, and you see how much money you're spending and people are throwing it around. And if you're Cooper Flagg, why wouldn't I want to stay at Duke? You're literally going to make more money. I mean, I don't know, signing bonus stuff are crazy, especially number one overall pick, and then you get endorsements and yada, yada, yada. But hell, you can do all that now at Duke.
Yeah, and just maybe put an insurance policy.
And you don't have near for one, it's easier. It's just easier to play college basketball than it is to play in the NBA. That's the reality of the situation. Two, you're just the dude, man. Yeah. You're still getting some good practice. You're not getting NBA practice. It's not the same. That's why a lot of these guys before NIL would go to G leagues or overseas or whatever, because you do get a lot better playing experience against that. But if you're Cooper Flagg, you got it. You're the dude. Why not hang out on Duke? Give me 15, 20 million. I'll be like, hell, keep the extra 5. Give me 15 million. I'll hang out here for another year with y'all. Why not?
I'm not. I don't know what the contracts look like for rookies, but we know what they look like for football. So if they're anything like football, you probably would be better off staying in college one more year making money. You are taking a risk with an injury, but I mean, if Cooper tears his ACL, you're telling me you're not going to draft him number 1? Like, you know what the player you're getting, you know?
Yeah, dude, but
like what could happen other than him just completely blowing his knee out?
I mean, a lot could happen. But here's the thing. It's not like a lot could happen. You're like going gambling because you're waiting until the next year to get drafted or whatever. They're going to give you $15 million.
He'd make double the first year. If he stayed at Duke, he'd make double of what? That's what the pharmacist said.
The pharmacist, why would you not stay? Dude, we might see more of this. These universities, you got to think about these universities like they're not professional franchises, but they got a lot of alumni that got a lot of money.
I mean, think about Notre Dame in football this year. How much money they made? Just what was like $14 million.
Yeah, y'all are a weird deal though. We can't compare y'all to anybody else because y'all get the independent money, and that's really weird. Everybody else got screwed on that deal.
Well, I mean, if all these SEC teams would live up to their hype, you could get more teams in, which means more money for your
Well,
conference.
there's only so many spots, man.
Yeah, and stop growing your conference, and you don't have to share the money with so many.
Well, that's the reality. Everybody's growing the conferences now. That we digress. We're getting way off the beaten path here. Victor Wembanyama has been shut down for the year, y'all, due to a blood clot in his shoulder. Let us know what you think about this in the comments. Smash that like button for us, and we'll see you on the next video.